Report story. All Might. Izuku yelled, bursting through All Might's office door. All Might turned to see the green-haired boy. Young Midoriya, I've seen you a lot today, haven't I? Did something else go on with One for All? Izuku ignored his question. Why did you tell Ochako about One for All? She thinks I lied to her because I didn't trust her. If you were okay with telling her, I wish you would have waited so I could be there. Izuku said loudly. What are you talking about, M-boy? I haven't told young Uraraka anything. I did tell her she would have to wait a bit. I was going to give you permission to tell her. I had my own little group of trustworthy friends, and I believe you should have your own, though I would have you limit them. Izuku's eyes widened. What's wrong, young Midoriya? She lied. She said that you told her everything. So I told her what happened earlier. She must have put the pieces together. But how? Izuku looked down at the notebook he was holding. Ochako had this in her hands when he found her in his room. She read the notes. So young Uraraka now knows. Well, young Midoriya, you two are a couple. She was bound to find out eventually. I hope this didn't put too big of a rift into your relationship. I haven't asked much about it because I figured it wasn't my place. No, no, All Might, you're like a father to me, I don't mind you asking. But yay, you could say it caused a rift. Izuku said. His fists were balled up in anger. She went through his stuff and lied about knowing. She tricked the truth out of him. Of course he wanted to tell her, but he wasn't allowed to. True, he had thought of asking All Might about telling her. It just hadn't come up in conversation. Something new was always popping up. All Might, I gotta go, thank you. Izuku bowed quickly and started to head out the door. Young Midoriya, All Might called out. Izuku turned around. Night Eye and I also fought over One for All and I lost one of my best friends. Don't let the same thing happen here. All Might said, a look of concern in his eyes. Izuku stood for a second. He nodded and then left the room. Izuku couldn't shake the feeling of anger he had. She lied to him about something that was his own business. And she hit him hard. His cheek still burned from the impact. How could soft hands such as hers be so painful? Izuku couldn't just sit there. He had to work off this anger. Charging One for All, he ran to the dorms and into his room. Papers in the common room flew everywhere. Oi, watch it, you fucking nerd. He heard Bakugo call out. Deku changed out of his school uniform he had put on just to go see Aizawa and changed into his workout clothes. A run sounded really good right about now. Izuku used his quirk to run out to the gate of Ua the beach and back. With his quirk he could make good time. Time how fast he took to get there and back. Who needed trains? No problem whatsoever. He wasn't going there because Ochako was on his mind. Not at all. Izuku charged One for All and started sprinting to the beach. Ochako was pacing in her room. She couldn't believe what she had done. She didn't mean to slap him. But still, how could he? Comparing her to Iida from back then, this and that were completely different. Iida was just a friend and the problem had to do with Izuku and her, not Iida. Izuku and Ochako were a couple. Boyfriend and girlfriend. They were together. Information like that was important. Promoted stories. You'll also like. Cruelty. X 1.2M 40.2K. A very hostile girl whom despised everyone and everyone despised her. Izuku Midoriya, a very sweet boy who was popular with his classmates, oddly developed. Dot. Symbol of hope Izuku X hair, named weapon of a true hero. This is the old version. The new rewrite can be found in Archive of Our Own, under a new name. Red Halo heroes today are corrupted by Dreamscape 353K10KYN has been trapped for most of her life, used as a tool for others' gain. Her quirk was fabricated to be used as the perfect weapon, a weapon to help in stealing other. The life of 017K486 Izuku Midoriya wanted to be a hero his whole life and was bullied for it since he was quirkless. Izuku Midoriya was told that he would never get a quirk by his doctor. Villain Deku 11K260 Izuku was just 14 when he met All Might and asked if he can be a hero, but All Might crushes his dreams and left him on a rooftop, what All Might didn't. Golden, Hispanic, Latina. Femme. Reader. Ex Izuku. Heiress to the richest company in the world. The government of Japan has good relationships with your grandfather. It was the duty of the government to save. Revenge of the wronged hero who happens to be. One could have thought that someone as pure and innocent as Izuku Midoriya would be betrayed by his friends who he thought that he could trust with everything he has. Wait, were they still together? Ochako did just slap him. Hard. And she lied to him about All Might telling her. But Izuku had been lying for months. If he couldn't tell her something that important yet, then why even get together in the first place? A girlfriend needs to know that sort of thing. Life-changing quirk type things especially. He's gonna find out. He's gonna find out she lied to him. Did it count as her business? He was told not to by All Might. All Might was the number one hero. Was there more to why she couldn't know? One for all. From what she had gathered from her fight with Izuku, it was a quirk that could be passed down to people. Izuku had received it from All Might, explaining why a quirkless boy got a quirk so late into his life. Apparently he had been instructed by All Might not to tell anyone. Izuku's body couldn't handle the power of All Might's quirk and had to adjust to it, hence why his body kept breaking. One for All holds the previous holder's quirks, explaining what that black substance was from this morning. So he's going to get even more quirks. Are they all going to go out of control? This is why she need to know these things. Still, hitting him was going too far. Way, too far. Ochako sat on her bed, putting her face to her hands. She really shouldn't have done that. That was just like when Iida knocked Izuku out. It was really uncalled for. Ochako took her hands from her face and grabbed her phone. She pushed Izuku's contact and held it up to her ear. The phone immediately went to voicemail. Did he block her? Ochako's heart started to race. Maybe he just hadn't charged his phone. Ochako ran down to Izuku's dorm and knocked on the door. Izuku. Hey look, I'm really sorry. Can we talk about this? Like actually talk this time. No response. She opened the door. The room was empty except for Izuku's school clothes on the bed. Did he go out to train with Bakugo again? Ochako ran into the common room, about to exit before being called over from the couches and TV. Ochako, what are you doing? You're not going after him, are you? Mina yelled. Ochako turned around. I have to. I need to fix our fight. Fight? What are you talking about? Mina asked worriedly. Ochako stared. What are you talking about? She asked. Mina pointed to the TV screen. She was sitting with Momo and Kirishima, who were watching intensively. Why isn't he using his quirk? Kirishima asked. Something must be wrong, Momo said. Ochako ran over to the TV and looked at the screen. "Oh no," she said quietly, eyes widening in fear. Izuku was running down the sidewalk at 8% one for all, lost in thought. Of course she would have been mad, that is a serious thing to bring to the table to a relationship. Maybe he should have asked All Might about telling her. They were supposed to be a team. But still, going that far, he would have told her eventually. She didn't need to go through his stuff. Or hit him. If she's his girlfriend, why couldn't she just understand he had his reasons? Did they choose to go out too soon? What was the right choice here? Of course, if he was following his heart, he wanted to stay together with her. Could he even let her go? A car drove past Izuku still being lost in thought when suddenly the car exploded. Izuku stopped in his tracks, turning and looking at the fire. A scream could be heard from the car. Izuku charged up once again and ran to the flaming vehicle. "Don't worry, I'll save you," Izuku yelled. Izuku went to grab the door handle, but the door was stuck. He charged one for all even more, yanking the door open. Izuku pulled out a lady, covered in burns, and jumped away from the burning car, still holding the lady. The car blew up again, the gas tank seemingly getting hit with the flames. "Don't worry, ma'am, you're safe. I'm Deku, I'm calling an ambulance. Please help me," the woman coughed. Izuku held the ear to his phone as he looked down at the woman. "I'm helping, ma'am, don't worry. I don't know where the nearest hospital is, but I'm calling an ambulance now. You're safe." "No, no, there was a man." The woman coughed. "A man? Did a quirk do this? A man? What did he?" Suddenly Izuku felt a sharp pain in his arm. "Ah!" He grunted in pain, confused. He looked down at his arm. A silver circular bullet was in his arm. "Hello. This is the fire department." The phone called into Izuku's ears. Izuku pushed through the pain. "Hello. I have a woman here who was in a car accident. Please send help." Suddenly, a burst of liquid shot out towards Izuku and the woman at incredible force. The woman slid away, now unconscious, as Izuku stood up, drenched. Izuku couched, and looked at the slimy liquid now covering him. The smell was strong. Was this gas? The hero, Deku. A voice called out to him. "I've been watching you for quite some time. Did you cause this?" Izuku asked, standing up. "You don't leave that school very often. It's lucky of me you chose today to leave. I can finally get my revenge on you," the man said. He was walking out of the shadows towards Izuku. An average-sized man, wearing a brown snow coat with body armor under it, black pants, started to appear in the light. A red bandana was tied around his long ponytailed hair, wearing gloves on each hand. "I asked if you caused this," Izuku yelled, getting into a fighting position. The man sighed. "Are you that dim-witted?" "Yes, I caused this. I caused this in order to come after you. You ruined my dream. And you will pay." Izuku looked at the unconscious woman behind him on the ground. He had to protect her at all cost. If this villain was really after him, then she shouldn't be in harm's way. All he has to do is stay a distance away from her. Suddenly other cars surrounding the area started to shake. Izuku looked at each one before gasoline erupted from the gas tanks of each vehicle. The gas floated around before circling around the enemy in front of him. "So you can manipulate gasoline to do what you want," Izuku called out. "I can. Too bad you don't have a quirk." he called out. Izuku smiled. Izuku got into a better stance before charging up one for all. At least he tried. Izuku didn't feel the energy coursing through him. Something was wrong. Izuku looked at the bullet in his arm and pulled it out, staring at it before his eyes grew wide. The quirk-destroying bullet. Izuku looked up before seeing blast of gasoline headed his way. Izuku dodged as best he could, the stream of gas flying past him, barely missing. Izuku looked down the continuous stream of gas before locking onto the gas manipulator. The man raised his hand close to the stream of gas he was controlling before snapping his fingers. Sparks flew out of his fingers, causing the gas to light, fire and explosions heading down the stream of gas towards Izuku's direction. Izuku was blasted back by the force of the explosions, rolling a distance away. Any closer and that would have lit Izuku ablaze. Izuku stood up quickly, still in a fighting stance. He looked down quickly and took off his gas-covered shirt. Why? Izuku yelled. What dream of yours did I crush? A second stream of gas came flying his way. Izuku dodged once again. He heard another snap of fingers and the stream went off, creating a long line of explosions following the stream. You took down Chisaki. You and your stupid strength quirk. You took away a world without quirks. Now I'll use this quirk, quirks that you people love, to bring down this stupid quirk-infested society. He yelled, more gigantic streams of gas heading Izuku's way. One of Chisaki's followers. Chisaki, Chiskai, Chisaki, Chisaki. Izuku just couldn't rid himself of that man. I won't allow it. I'll beat you. Even without my quirk. Izuku yelled. Mirio was able to keep fighting without his quirk. Without a quirk, Mirio was still Lemillion. Izuku would worry about the consequences of losing one for all later. Right now, he was still the hero Deku. I will find a way to protect that lady and stop you. Izuku called out. I've taken much bigger explosions than this. To be continued. Where stories live. Discover now.